So Buddha was given in future tense because it happened before Bhagavatam. And Kalki is given in future tense. Kalki will come at the end of Kali Yuga. And then after that, it is mentioned not only these 22 incarnations, but how many are there? Innumerable. Avatara hasankyeya hare sattvanidhe dvija. So innumerable. And then comes a very important verse. What is that? Then comes very important verse. It distinguishes Krishna from all other incarnations. Right? What is it? Etes cham. Everybody should memorize this one verse, okay? This is your memory verse. Repeat after me. Etes cham shakala pumsa. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam. Mrudhayanti Yuge Yuge. So, yeah, explain this verse to me. Who would like to explain? Jishamada, you go on. Go on. Okay. Yeah, continuation. Yeah. So why this verse is mentioned? Is it? Yeah. So in this verse, yes. Okay. There is another Bhagavatam going on. So this revision is very important, right? Hare Krishna, Hare Vah. Hare Krishna. Where is Mataji? Hello, Hare Krishna. Good to see you. Okay. Okay. Right. We'll back to, yes, third chapter. Please come in. So in the beginning, the Purusha incarnations have been mentioned, and the creation of the entire universe is mentioned, right? And who is this Purusha? Purusha is an expansion of Bhagavan. And that Bhagavan is Krishna. So it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that all the avatars actually comes from Krishna. Krishna is not avatara, he is avatari. Avatari means source of all the avatars. Etes chamsha kalapumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Right? We discussed this verse, very important verse. So it distinguishes Krishna from all other incarnations. Right? That's why, in ISKCON we say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna comes, Vishnu comes from Krishna. Right? So where this is coming from? This is coming from Bhagavatam. Nobody has manufactured it. Right? Vishnu comes from Krishna. Actually, how many Vishnus are there? Three Vishnus. One Vishnu lies on the Karana ocean, glances at material universe, and thereby creates the universes, material universes. And then Second Vishnu then enters into that each universe, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and then he becomes third Vishnu, Kshirodakasai Vishnu, who lives on the Milk Ocean on Dhruva planet. So these three Vishnus. So it is said from Bhagavan comes Pradhama Purusha, right? First Purusha. And first Purusha becomes second Purusha. Second Purusha becomes third Purusha. Bhagavatam says that Bhagavan is Krishna. Etes chamshakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All other avatars they are portions and portions of Krishna. There is energy. We can't distribute. We are here means we can't be elsewhere. But Lord, with his potency, he can expand. Right? That is one important verse I mentioned. And why does he come? This is Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Rudayanti Yuge Yuge. When the enemies of Indra create disturbance in this world, he comes through various avatars and he fixes it. Hiranyaksha comes, disturbs Indra, and Lord comes as Varaha. When Hiranyakashipu disturbs Indra and all other devotees, Lord comes as Narsimhadev, like that. So to protect Indra, he takes. And there are various types of avatars, but that I'm not going to talk. That will be a separate class. All incarnation, all avatars are not same. Say, for example, in 22, Narada was mentioned. One of the avatar of the Lord. Right? Have you heard before? Narada is actually one of the avatars of the Lord. Bhagavatam says, 4 Kumaras, they are also one of the avatars of the Lord. Vyasdev, who had compiled all the Vedas, he is also one of the avatars of the Lord. Some avatars are called Shakti Avesha avatars, means empowered incarnations. Okay, in Sanskrit, you note it down as Shakti Avesha, avatars. In English, we call it empowered incarnations. What does it mean is, he empowers a particular living entity with a certain aspect. Say, for example, Narada was empowered with bhakti aspect. Kumaras, they're empowered with austerity and knowledge, like that. They are not directly Lord, like Vishnu Tattva. They are living entities, but they are empowered with a certain quality. Am I making sense? Okay. Yeah. So there are some avatars like that. Say for Narsingha, is a proper Vishnu Tattva. Kurma is a Vishnu Tattva. Like that, Rama is a proper Vishnu Tattva. Whereas some avatars like Narada, Kumaras, and there are others also, they are empowered with certain quality. Right? Yes, Charan, your question. I think we're still doing the same chapter. Yeah, I thought I would do in only 5 minutes. Yes, go on. So this is, they are like, it's Vishnu and Krishna, they're almost same. So they can be used as synonyms. So Vishnu, when you say Vishnu, is Krishna only. Narsingha, it means Krishna only. So that's fine for worship purpose. That's absolutely fine. They are all Vishnu Tattva. Just like just like father at office, father in the office, father at home. In the office, same father, he wears a suit and his mood is different, right? Whereas at home is, with his children, he has a different rasa. Children can jump on father like that, isn't it? They have a different rasa. So Vishnu deals with the material universe, Krishna simply enjoys. That's why he doesn't hold any weapon, only flute, playing, enjoying, like that. But they're all just like, from one candle, you can light many candles and they give same heat and same light. But which candle is the first candle? Krishna is the first candle. All Vishnus, Narasimha, etc., they're all another candle like that. Okay. So, and then in the later section of third chapter, what's been mentioned, anybody remembers? Glories of Srimad Bhagavatam were detailed. Bhagavatam is actually a literary incarnation of Krishna. Say when you say Om, Om is also incarnation, sound incarnation of the Lord, sound avatar of the Lord. Hare Krishna mantra is also sound form of the Lord. Lord can take the sound form. Lord can take the book form also. That is Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Sammitam. This is nothing but Lord Krishna. He had taken this form. He disappeared from this world and reappeared in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Bhagavatam, who compiled this Bhagavatam? Srila Vyasdev compiled. And why did he compile? Hare Krishna Prabhu. Why did he compile? That is there, but the main purpose here, Nihashreyasaya, for the benefit of the common people. Glorification is there, but we get when we hear that glorification, we get the benefit. Ideally, he is writing for our sake, so that we can read, we can hear, and we can benefit. It's like a medicine, rasayana. So that is it. No other motive for him. Just only for people to benefit, take advantage of this scripture and benefit. This Kali Yuga is compared to dark, completely dark world, dark age. And where do you get the light from? You get the light from Bhagavatam. So then, what kind of book is this? He had taken the essence from all the scripture, and from that essence, he had taken essence. Essence from essence. Am I making sense? Saram, saram. So there are so many scriptures. We don't have time to read all of them. We can't understand everything. So for our benefit, he had taken the essence, and from that essence, he had taken the essence. So this is such an important cream of the Vedic knowledge. It's the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is compared to a tree, entire Vedic knowledge. And Bhagavatam is compared to the ripened fruit of that tree. So you understand, ripened fruit means it's the essence. And then after compiling it, what he had done? He had instructed it to his son, Shukadeva Goswami. And when he was instructing it to Shukadeva Goswami, Suta Goswami says, I was present. Sorry. Shukadeva Goswami then instructed it to Parikshit Maharaj, who was on the verge of death. And in that assembly, I was also there. This is where the previous chapter ends. 3 sections. First section talks about the Purusha incarnations, concerning about the creation of this universe, material universe. Second section talks about various incarnations, Leela avatars. Krishna was also mentioned as one of the avatars. But later, Krishna was distinguished from all the avatars, saying that Krishna is not an avatara, but he is avatari. He is the source of all the avatars. And there are unlimited incarnations there. And then next section was about Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna, and Vyasdev compiled for the benefit of people in general. And it is the essence of all the scriptures, cream of all the Vedic knowledge. He instructed it to his son, Shukadeva Goswami. And Shukadeva Goswami delivered this message to Parikshit Maharaj, who was on the verge of death. I was there in that assembly. I heard it with rapt attention. I will also narrate the same Bhagavatam which I heard from the lotus mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. Okay. Right? Mahaprasade Govinde. So nearly took 20 minutes. So usually we sing that prayer at the end of the class. So that may... Okay. So my humble request to everyone, everybody should memorize this verse 1328. And ideally, you can also try and memorize 27. Huh? This verse picture? 1328. Yeah, you can take, but you Google it SB 1328. SB space 1.3.28. Yeah. Because if you take it, may not, quality may not be good. Huh? 26, let's see. Yeah, so this verse also try and memorize this. Avatara, Sankya, there are unlimited incarnations, because you can quote this verse. Sometimes people say only Dashavataras, right? Only 10 incarnations. But this verse tells you that there are unlimited avatars. Huh? Okay. So now we'll come to fourth chapter entitled Appearance of Narad. So, and in this chapter, obviously, Suta Goswami was narrating this to sages headed by Shaunaka. And sages, again, they asked questions. Lakshman Prabhu asked, no, one day, only 6 questions? No, there are so many questions in the Bhagavatam. So sages again asked. They, only Shaunaka asks on behalf of the sages. He is the head of all these sages. And Shaunaka asked 3 sets of questions in this chapter. How many sets? 3 sets. First set relates to Bhagavatam and Vyasdev. You are telling, yes, okay, you can write it, we will read them, but just listen first. So first set relate to Bhagavatam and Vyasdev. I mean, how did Vyasdev compile Bhagavatam? Where did he get inspiration? Like that. When did he compile? Where did he compile? Because Suta Goswami said, Vyasdev compiled this Bhagavatam. And the second set, you're telling us that after compiling, Vyasdev instructed it to his son, Shukadeva Goswami. But Shukadeva Goswami was a liberated person. He got liberated when he was in the womb itself, mother's womb. He was in a very high level sage from the birth itself. What is the need for him to study this Bhagavatam? And also, he doesn't go and spend time with the householders. He doesn't. Because what is the job? He will only stay as long as the cow is milked at Grihastha's house. When they are milking cow, he will wait outside. You know why? They will give a little bit of cow milk. And they will drink and leave. And you are telling that he delivered this Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Why? What is the need for Sukadeva Goswami to go and sit with Parikshit Maharaj, who is a householder? So first set of questions relating to Bhagavatam, Vasudev. Second set of questions relating to Shukadeva Goswami. Third set of questions relating to Parikshit. You are telling us that Parikshit gave up everything and heard Bhagavatam. Parikshit is a king, right? Who is Parikshit? We have Arjun. Arjun's son is Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son is Parikshit. Abhimanyu got married. In olden days, they can marry so many men. Now you can't manage one, so you can't marry more also. Yeah, don't aspire for that. Okay, so they used to marry many. So Abhimanyu was born through Subhadra. Subhadra was a sister of Krishna. So this Abhimanyu then got married to Uttara, daughter of King Viratu. In the Mahabharata it is mentioned. So Uttara, and so it's Abhimanyu and Uttara's son is Parikshit. After the departure of all the Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj was ruling our kingdom, Bharat Desh. Right? So, but he was such a great personality, and he was surrounded by so much opulence, royal servants. How could he give up everything? How could he give up and go and, fast until death? Sit on the bank of Ganga, and listen. We want to learn more about Parikshit. His birth is wonderful. His activities are wonderful. He's such a great personality. So these are the three sets of questions. We'll read them, but I am just giving an overview. And the rest of this is an important point. Please listen. Rest of the first canto talks about these three sets. Answers to the rest of the first canto is answers to these three sets of questions. So we will read. We'll read. So 1, 2, 3. Who would like Arjun? 1, 2, 3.
Jonica said, "Oh, Shuta Goswami, you are the most fortunate and respected of all those who can speak. Recently, the private message of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by the great and novel sage Shukadeva Goswami. In what period and at what place was this first begun, and why was this taken up? From why did Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile this literature?"
Yeah. So you see, it's like, please narrate the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then it's all questions: what period, what place, and why this was taken up. From where did Vyasdev got the inspiration to compile this literature? So this is what's first said, and chapter, for this chapter later this chapter till 7th chapter, middle of the 7th chapter, talks about this only, Bhagavatam, how Vedavyas got motivation to compile Bhagavatam. So next set of questions are about Shukadeva Goswami. 4 till 8, if I remember well, please read.
He was transcendental to the mundane activity, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. While Sri Vyasadeva was following his son, beautiful young damsels who were bathing naked covered their bodies with cloths. Although Sri Vyasadeva himself was not naked, But they had not done so when his son had passed. The sage inquired about this, and the young lady replied that his son was purified, and when looking at them, made no distinction between male and female. But the sage made such distinction. How was he, Sheila Sukadev, the son of Vyas, recognized by the citizens when he entered the city of Hastinapur, now Delhi, after wandering in the provinces of Kuru and Jangala, appearing like a madman, dumb and retarded? How did it happen so that King Pari met this great sage, making it possible for this great transcendental essence of the Vedas to be sung to him? Shukdev Goswami was accustomed to stay at the door of the householder only long enough for a cow to be milked, and he did this just to sanctify the residence.
Yeah, so that's it. That's about Shukadeva Goswami. So Shukadeva Goswami, because Sutta Goswami mentioned that after compiling Bhagavatam, he instructed it to his son Shukadeva Goswami. So they mentioned that he was a liberated person, and it is mentioned that he is at a stage that when he looks at someone, he looks at the soul. When we look at the body, male, female, we distinguish. But Sukadeva Goswami, he was only 16-year-old that time when he received this Bhagavatam message, or before he received the Bhagavatam message, he was only 16-year-old. But he was such an elevated person, he would not distinguish between male and female. He treats everyone as a soul. And when he sees us, he sees servant of Krishna, like that. Here there is an example mentioned how these young damsels were taking bath when he was passing by, that he doesn't wear any clothes. And these girls, they were taking bath, but they did not bother to cover their bodies. Whereas Vasudev, his father was passing by, when his father was passing by, he was much older, a grandfather age to them. They covered their bodies. And Vasudev asked, what is the reason that when my son, who is very young, only 16-year-old, passing by, you don't cover your bodies? When I am passing by, you are covering. They said that he doesn't distinguish between male and female. Prabhupada writes in the purport that Vasudev is also an elevated soul. But because he is a householder, Grihastha, he has to make those distinct differences, right? So Vedavyas is also a very elevated soul. But being a householder, he has to make those difference. He has to difference between male and female. There were many other questions that, so as I mentioned, that how he was recognized by the people of Hastinapur, because he was not wearing any clothes. And people may think, looking at him, people think that he's just a mad person. How they recognized him? And it is also mentioned he will only stay as long as the cow is milked. But he went and spent time there. So he was just roaming in the Kuru and Jangala like that. So that's about a second set of questions relating to Shukadeva Goswami. Next, third set from Yai, please. From 9.
Was a great emperor and possessed all the opulences of his acquired kingdom. He was so exalted that he was increasing the prestige of the honored dynasty. Why did he give up everything to sit down on the bank of the Ganga and fast until death? He was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and strength, and he possessed kingly opulences that were difficult to give up. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life? Those who are devoted to the cause of the personality of Godhead live only for the welfare, development, and happiness of others. They do not live for any selfish interest. But even though the emperor Parikshit was free from all attachment to worldly possessions, how could he give up his mortal body, which was a shelter for others? We know that you are expert in the meaning of all subjects, except some portions of the Vedas, and thus you can explain the answers to all the questions we have put to you.
Thank you. So, yeah. So as I mentioned, the third set of questions relates to Parikshit Maharaj. So as it is a International Women's Day today, so congratulations to all the women and the girls, mothers, daughters. Why it is celebrated? Any idea? Yes, I was Googling and it says that we have to remember the contributions made by all the women. And here, Mother Uttara. So when she was in danger, who released this Brahmastra? Ashwatthama. He released Brahmastra at the fetus. And it doesn't harm you, but it will kill the fetus inside. That's how, accurate, specific. So when he released Brahmastra, she could understand that he was aiming at the fetus embryo. And what did mother do? Mother Uttara, she took shelter of Krishna. She took shelter of Krishna. And what did Krishna do? Krishna entered the womb and he revived the embryo. It is said actually the embryo got burnt. But Krishna revived it. So this is glorious mother. On a Women's Day, it's nice to remember the glorious mother who gave birth to wonderful son Parikshit Maharaj. We will hear more about Parikshit Maharaj, what kind of personality he was. And we were also recently, I narrated several times the story of Diti, remember? Mother of demons. But when Indra killed the embryo into 7, and again each embryo, that 7 pieces again 7 times. One embryo into 7, and each of that into 7. 7, 7, 49. And they were all alive. Why they were all alive? Who did she worship? Diti, we narrated this story several times. Krishna, she worshipped Lord Vishnu, right? For 1 year she worshipped to have a son who would be able to kill Indra. That was her aim. She tricked her husband, Kashyapa. She served nicely, gave nice prasadam every day, nicely. And when he was pleased, very much satisfied, he said, this Kashyapa, always men are like this only, easily, you can bend them. So serve. And then when he was pleased and he said, what can I offer you a boon? Ask for a boon. No terms and conditions. Just like Dashrath Maharaj, dangerous. Yes. So no terms and conditions. And Diti immediately said, yes, this is, I'm waiting for this. I would like to have a son who would be able to kill Indra. Can you bless me with a son? My God, what kind of mistake I had done. But you tricked me, I will also trick you. Okay? You worship Lord Vishnu for 1 year and you will have a son. Like that. Because she worshipped, and Indra, because Indra's enemy, Indra is feared, he's insecure. So he went into the womb and he killed the embryo. But because Mother Diti worshipped Krishna, Lord Vishnu, for all 1 year, 49 children were alive. So she was very happy. I prayed for one, but you gave me 49. And they were all became demigods, maruts, winds, wind demigods. Whenever we talk about embryo, we connect these two stories. Parikshit Maharaj's story and the story of Diti, right? And so many other questions were there. So we will read more about Parikshit Maharaj. His enemies were, they just simply come and surrender. No argument, no questions asked, no need to fight. So we will read about Parikshit Maharaj that there are other, earthly planets. There are other earthly planets apart from our earthly planet. He was able to go to other earthly planets and he could conquer. When it comes to that shloka, I will tell you. That was his power. We don't have access to other earthly planets, but he could go and he could defeat. Such a powerful personality. Yeah, so he was only 30, 35 that time. Yeah, 30, 35. And young wife, but he could give up everything and so much wealth. Sometimes when you don't have, giving up is easy. Like going to forest. If you don't have anything, okay, going to forest. Town or forest is same for you. But so much, he was surrounded by so many opulences, but he could give up everything like that. We will read that later also, how he had given up everything and simply took shelter of Krishna. I'll answer your question and I will also talk about another death, right? Empowered with a certain aspect. Yeah, you are a good question. Just like, you're working for an employer, and when do they promote you? When you perform well and you obey them. I mean, good character. Similarly, Lord also chooses good people. Just like if you are good, you can elevate, you can occupy the post of Brahma also. But yes, Lord will select certain individuals. Yeah, who based on our actions and character, like that. Yeah, it is. Prarabdha will be there. Prarabdha will be there. You're absolutely right. Prarabdha means beginning, yes, but it can be changed with the association of devotees. And that prarabdha, yeah. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukam kramenaina praliyante Vishnu bhakti ratatmikam. So you asked that same question, answer came. Prarabdha, aprarabdha, so many are there. Everything will be nullified when you do Vishnu bhakti. We can nullify all that karma, previous karma. Present karma, previous karma can be nullified when you do Vishnu bhakti. And that we should do in the association of devotees. Yes. And Narada Muni tells also in the next chapter that he was a son of maid servant in the past life, previous day of Brahma. Previous day of Brahma, he was a son of maid servant. But now, in this life, is Narad. Imagine, Narad is Guru for everyone. Guru of Prahlad Maharaj, Guru of Dhruva Maharaj. You see in Bhagavatam throughout, Guru of Vyasdev is the Guru of Vyasdev, right? So he was son of maid servant. Yeah. So we have to render devotion under the guidance of pure devotees. Then all our karma will be destroyed. and then we can advance in spirituality. Am I making sense? Thank you for asking that. That means you're hearing attentively. So we're talking about death, Parikshit Maharaj's death, and last night, 2 days ago, we had received a call saying that one of our mentor who brought us into this devotion, he had left his body at the age of 60 with pancreatic cancer. So he helped us a lot, just like this. See, this sangha helps us, isn't it? Like sometimes you go to temple when no one gives you attention, you will not be able to. Here you feel family, right? You feel like coming. But in the temple, it's a bigger congregation. You don't have that attention, so you don't feel like going and spending time there. And here you're being nurtured. You can ask certain questions like that. So we were also like that. He was leading the Sangha. We were part of it. And that time we didn't know anything at all. So he was like that. There were many, and he was one of them. And so we didn't have in touch with the last 7-8 years. Sometimes they spend 6 months in India, 6 months here. They are in Denmark currently. So we spoke to his wife last night. She's 50-year-old. He was 60 and he left his body the other day. And when we spoke, we were shocked the way she spoke to us. Literally shocked. She was happy. She was telling us that I'm very happy that my husband, when he left the other day, he had a big smile on his face. Smile. And just seeing that, of course, she got prepared because it's a late, stage 4 cancer. But even then, and why there is a big smile? Usually, Lalita Priti says to me many times that when they leave their body, they see their face is very, I don't know how to use. They usually get scared because Yamadutas will come to take you and to give punishment. Smiling means some divine personalities came there to take him away. So that is the message she gave. And second thing she said was that usually, when the soul leaves the body becomes stiff, right? Dead body becomes quite stiff. But next day also, the body was quite soft. Huh? Okay, that's a medical term. So it was soft. Even all medical professionals, they got shocked. We have never seen a body like this. And Lalita Priti was telling me, but I did not hear. Prabhupada said many times that when a glorious departure, when an auspicious departure happens, your body becomes soft like that. Something like that. Did you say Lalita Priti? I've never heard Prabhupada speaking, but Prabhupada's body was also like that when he left. You see in the video, right? It was not stiff at all. Yeah. So, and on that connection, I'll tell you another story. You wanna? This one, it's in the Nectar of Devotion, Padma Puran, Aprarabdha Phalam Papam. It is quoted in the 9.2 purport, Bhagavad Gita 9.2 purport. It is quoted, Aprarabdha Phalam Papam, Utam Bijam Phalonmukam. Some of our karma is ripened, and some is not ripened. It is stored. It will come later on. It's just waiting to, when the seed is there, it takes some time to germinate. And when it germinates, to fruits to come, it will take some time. So karma is also in the form of various stages. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. So one temple in India, West Bengal temple, ISKCON temple, they had received a call from family saying that their elderly family member is about to leave her body, and they wanted ISKCON devotees to bring a Radha Krishna picture and a flower garland. So this temple president went to the temple shop and said, "Can we have Radha Krishna picture?" The shopkeeper said, "Prabhu, no Radha Krishna today. All sold out. Only Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra." They specifically asked for Radha Krishna picture. What can I do? He went to his room and there is one Radha Krishna picture. But this Radha Krishna is not their temple Radha Krishna, but it is the picture of Vrindavan temple. Vrindavan, yes, Vrindavan, there is ISKCON temple. Na? It is called Radha Sham Sundar, they are called. Vigrahas also names, different names. So he said, okay, take mine. This picture you take. And they took it, and she passed away. And the family member came to the temple president and said something very interesting. When this lady was in good health, she actually donated some money to Vrindavan temple, Radha Krishna temple, to buy the deities, Yeah, to buy the deities. See, that deity came there. And it's so happened that there were no other Radha Krishna pictures, and that had to be sent. She died in Calcutta, and so that means Krishna, everything he will remember. When you do something, Krishna will never forget. He'll look after you. So when I heard that, sometimes, okay, Krishna, there are so many issues in the temple, but you will also do something for me, at the time of death. Okay, I will have to come back now. Sorry, I took you to completely a different place, but Krishna will remember you. You do some sincere devotion, some service, he will never forget. Neha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya prayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. Even a little advancement on this path will protect you from greatest type of fear. This is Amaya's favorite verse. Or Chocolate Prabhu. Okay, so now our Suta Goswami begin to answer the first question. What is the first set of questions about? Bhagavatam and Vyasdev. So from now till middle of the seventh chapter, first canto only, but middle of the seventh chapter, 7:10, I think. Until then, it talks about this only, Bhagavatam and Vyasdev. Okay, from now. So now let's read. Is it okay? Are you getting bored? No? Okay, next set. Sharan Prabhu, can you read from 14 till 18?
When the second king, the great sage Vyasdeva, was born to Parashara in the reign of the daughter of Vasu. Once upon a time, he, Vyasdeva, as the sun rose, took his morning ablution in the waters of the Saraswati and settled down to concentrate. The great sage Vyasadeva saw anomalies in the duties of the millennium. This happens on the earth in different ages due to the unseen force of time. The great sage, who was fully equipped in knowledge, could see through his transcendental vision the deterioration of everything material due to the influence of the earth. He could also see that the faithless people in general would be reduced in
duration of life, and would be impatient due to the lack of goodness. Thus he contemplated for the welfare of men in all statuses and orders of life.
Okay. So Sutta Goswami begin to answer about Vyasdeva and Bhagavatam, but he talks about Vyasdev. The questions were, when, what time, and what time, it was compiled, where did Vyasdev got this motivation, etc. So here it is mentioned. Also, I wanted to mention all your, all our women are here. They are glorious. You like to hear Bhagavatam. So on a wonderful way to celebrate International Women's Day by attending Bhagavatam classes. Somehow I notice in all my classes, women are more active. Even Bhagavatam also I do every Thursday. There is another Bhagavatam I do, right? Every Thursday. 7th canto we finished. There also it's majority women. There are men, couple of men, but majority women only, right? So they are more interested. They take notes also. Hardly many men, they are overconfident. I can remember. They're always overconfident. But you see here, like, all Matajis are taking notes. How many Prabhus are taking notes? I remember, like, huh? That's what they do. So, as Sutta Goswami begin to answer, when the second millennium overlap the third, it requires a little bit of explanation. How many yugas are there? 4. What is the order? No. The order is Satya, Dwapar. Satya, Dwapar, Treta, Kali. Okay, listen. Take some time to digest. Don't worry. Yes. Yeah. But let me finish that. That is a general order. But only in this cycle, it rotates. You know that it doesn't happen one. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. In one day of Brahma, how many cycles come? Yamadayi? 1,000. Sahasra yuga paryantam aharyad brahmano vidu ratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratro vido jana. 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas consists of one day of Brahma, that is 4.32 billion years. His night is also same. Some devotees, when I say, I wish I had that same night. I don't want the day. I don't want that day, but I wish I had that night. That duration, 4.32 billion years. But he doesn't, he's in yoga nidra. His nidra is different. Okay. And in this 1,000 one day of Brahma, there are how many manus? 14 manus. And this is currently which manvantara? 7th manvantara. Yes, 7th. 6 manus are gone. 7th manvantara. In the 7th manvantara, we are in which cycle of yuga? 4 yugas. Each manu's duration is 71 cycles of 4 yugas. Making sense? Brahma's lifespan is 1,000 cycles. And each manu lifespan is 71 cycles. And we are in the 28th cycle. After Kali Yuga finishes, 29th cycle will begin. Only in this Manvantara, in the 28th cycle, Treta comes before Dwapar. Only in this cycle. Am I making sense? Usually the order is Satya, Dwapar, Treta, Kali Yuga. But in this cycle, 7th Manvantara, 28th cycle, Dwapar comes later. Treta comes before. This is a little bit technical. Some people think why Prabhuji is telling, but there is something I have to explain. So, yeah. And in this Dwapar Yuga, Krishna comes as he is, once in a day of Brahma. Krishna as he is comes once in a day of Brahma. Krishna is different from all others, right? Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma, and he comes in Dwapar Yuga, this Dwapar Yuga. So, that time, Vyasdev appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashar. So, who is Parashar? Anybody remembers Parashar Muni? Vishwamitra had a son called Shakti. And Shakti's son, if I remember well, again I have to go remember, but Shakti's son was Parashar. Grandson, Pautra, grandson of Vashishta. It's a very, very learned scholar, Parashar Muni. Then did I say Vishwamitra? No, Vashishta. Vashishta. Shakti Pautra Manaptaram. So he said Vashishta's son was Shakti, Shakti's son was Parashar, Parashar's son was Vyasdev. Okay. So the Parashar was a great sage, and entire Vishnu Purana was spoken by Parashar Muni. Even at the age of 7, he could speak all the Puranas. Prabhu. Gotra. One of the Gotra. I don't know about these Gotras seriously. All the came, yeah, mine is Brahma Devar. I don't know if I belong to Brahma, but Paulatsya, we all eventually, link to Brahma and then Krishna. But yes, definitely our roots are there. That's how the Gotras are. Definitely, there is a link. There is a link. That's why, when at the time of marriage, they look at all these things. Yeah. Same Gotra, you can't marry. Yeah, exactly. So there is an interesting event. This Satyavati, her name was Matsya Gandha. Matsya Gandha. This Vasu is the fisherman. He caught a fish, and in that fish, when he cut it, there were children, 2 children. One is Satyavati, there was another person. So this Satyavati, she was getting this fishy odor from her body, Matsya Gandha. Yes. But Parashar gave her a boon that she would, our body would emanate a scent which would reach in something 3-4 mile radius, something like that. How many of you want that scent? So, and of course, through the union of Parashar and Satyavati, this Vyasdev was born on an island, in an island. So that's why he's called Dvaipayana Vyas, right? Dvaipayana Vyas. He was born in Dwapar Yuga only. Dwapar Yuga in the 3rd Sandhya. There are 3 divisions: 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Sandhya, like that. And once upon a time, every day, they go and take morning oblations, like take water, offer to sun, and like that. So one day, when he was offering oblations in the Saraswati river, you can't see Saraswati now, right? You can only see Yamuna and Ganga. Saraswati is invisible now. So he could foresee all the anomalies. What is that? Anomalies. So issues going to come in Kali Yuga, because after Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga comes. So he thought that people will benefit if I people will benefit if I divide the scriptures and give them in the nice form, because people may not be able. Actually, earlier there was only one Veda, Yajurveda, and he divided that into 4 Vedas. And then he compiled Mahabharat. Mahabharat consists of all the stories, etc. So you want to benefit the people. For their benefit, he said, let me divide, let me compile this Vedic literature in this form. They can, thereby reading, they get the benefit. And also there are some rituals in these scriptures they can perform and benefited. So this is what the sages do. They are paradukka dukki. They take others' misery as their misery. So we take others' happiness is our misery. Being but the sages are different. Just like Lord Shiva, to save others, he drank the poison. Yeah, there is one shloka. Talanundu vishamu fanikin. Funny means snake. Funny. Snake. Yeah. Phani. Fa. Pa. Pa. Funny. Talanundu vishamu fanikin. Velayangato kanundu vruchikamunakun. Telugu shloka. Okay. So scorpion has poison in the tail. For snake, it is in the head. For scorpion, in the Talatoka yanaka niluvella undu vishamu kalunaku gadara sumati. Envious person will have poison from head to toe. Snake and scorpion are better, he says. This Sumati says like that, envious person will have poison everywhere. And once somebody asked me a question, what do envious people become in the next life? They usually become snakes. So we also remember Prabhupada when we discussed this aspect. So he took so much pain to compile this Vedic literature. Prabhupada was actually, how many hours he was sleeping? 2 hours he was sleeping. And he was, Nisha entered. Okay. So rest of the time he was, in the night, he was able to compile Srimad Bhagavatam. He was translating word for word, giving purports, explanations, etc. Nice to hear my own voice. Oh, you are Nisha? Oh, really? You are very active in the classes. I didn't know that you are Nisha. Oh, very good. Yeah. Same Satyavati. But after the birth of Vyasdev, she remained virgin. That is the boon that Parashar gave. Yes, she married Shantanu. I didn't want to tell that story. She didn't marry. Just a union, that's it. Yeah. Let's see, interval, na? Shall we, any popcorn anybody wants? Yeah, we'll be finishing. Yes, Mataji. Only in this Manvantara, 7th Manvantara. This happens. This overlap happens. Not in other Manvantaras. 7th Manvantara, 28th cycle. It's a scheduled incarnation. If you ever want to come here to see him. Yeah, that's a scheduled. Yes, sir. Generally, but not now. You're right. Generally, it is longer than Treta Yuga because it comes before Treta Yuga, right? the lifespan of Dwapar Yuga currently is twice the lifespan of Kali Yuga. Yeah, time span. Okay, so where are we now? We are talking about Prabhupada. He also saw, like, it took so much pain to put these books, put the message in these books. He repeats also many times, you see. We wonder why. Do you wonder why he repeats? Because, he thought that if I don't live, at least they will get this message. Initially, he was started to write systematically. Then he decided, let me do Krishna book, because Krishna is like summum bonum. Krishna is 10th canto is so sweet. I don't know if I live that long. Let me complete Krishna book. That. So if you see all this, we are taking, we are benefiting from these books. And he had taken the message from all acharyas, and he put everything in writing for our sake and simplified it. And everybody reads these books, and now they become learned scholars. So, thus contemplated the welfare of men. This is what the sages do. They work for the welfare of all others. Okay, now I will read from 19 to 23. Arjun, I thought of, yeah, you're getting bored, right? No, okay. No, yeah.
The original the central platform after the Vedas were divided into 4 divisions. Varanasi became the first Veda, then the professor of the Veda, Vaishampayana became glorified by the Veda. The Samanta Mani Amitabha, who was very devoted to the was a prophet of the Sangha Veda. Anatata, Brahma, Purana, and Shankara. All these learned scholars in their turn rendered their trusted Vedas unto their many disciples, disciples and great disciples, and thus the respective branches of the following of the Veda came into view.
Yeah, so Vedas, so it took some pain to simplify all the Vedic knowledge. One Veda divided into 4 Vedas. Earlier, one person could remember entire Veda, but now, 4 parts into 4 different people, right? 4 different people. And then Puranas were entrusted to Romarshana Sutta, father of Sutta Goswami. This is called 5th Veda. And especially there are Veda, 5th Veda, all Puranas are called 5th Veda. Mahabharata is also called 5th Veda, because in Mahabharata, what is there? Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is there. So that's why it is specifically called 5th Veda. 5th Veda. But ripened fruit of all the Vedic knowledge is take the fruit. Enjoy the fruit. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, we'll move on. From 24 till 25, yes, Anamata.
Thus it combines the great historical narrative called Mahabharata for favorite and friends of the twice born.
Okay. Yeah. So whenever there is mention about women, don't worry about it. Yeah. Sometimes when somebody sees, oh, women are less intelligent, then I don't attend this class at all. They stop attending. So to actually fully understand the Vedic knowledge, you have to read in what context, why it is mentioned like that. It's not just only the women. It is said Dvijabandhu means all other also. Dvijabandhu means the friends of Brahmanas. Like even if you are a Brahmana, male Brahmana, but if you are not a learned person, devotee, then you are Dvijabandhu. Yeah, imitative, all like that. So, for some philosophically inclined people, they can read the Vedas because it is highly, there is philosophy. But the Puranas consists of stories, which will be more interesting for all of us. And in the story form, there is a philosophy included. Yes, all these stories consist of a philosophy as well. Philosophy is put into story form, just like, story of Narad comes next. In that story, what is the message that is given? What is the message that is given? You associate with saintly people, you serve saintly people, you become a devotee, like that. So that is the message that is given. So for various people, Mahabharat consists, again, Mahabharata is important because there is this Bhagavad Gita is there. But actually, if you read Mahabharata on your own, many people get confused. When people read Mahabharata, they think Krishna to be a politician, number one. But he is the Supreme Personality God. You have to hear these Puranas from a devotee. Seriously, many people get confused after reading Mahabharata. Mahabharata mainly talks about dharmartha kama, moksha, right? It doesn't give you devotion. It doesn't talk much about devotion. It talks about this, just how to live in this world. Sometimes you need tactics now. So Mahabharata teaches this. But we should hear these things from devotees, not from TV serials. Yes, TV serial, but you should come to this conclusion. Many people get confused about Krishna's position after reading Mahabharata. Okay, so now we'll move on. And so after doing this great job, dividing one Veda into 4 Vedas, compiling all the Puranas, except Bhagavad Purana. He has not compiled Bhagavad Purana yet. He had compiled all other Puranas. He had compiled Mahabharata. Mahabharata consists of 1 lakh verses. Bhagavatam is only 18,000 verses. Right? 1 lakh. It's very huge. After doing all this, he should be really satisfied. He had done a great job. But here comes the main point. He was not satisfied after doing this job. Why did he do this job? Not for selfish reason. He wanted to benefit people in general. But he was not satisfied. Next, we will read this, Mataji. Yes. 26 to 27. Okay, yeah, please read more. 28, 29 also.
To grasp and other things of the Christ can see the part of religion.
30.
And maybe because perfect means to inherit God.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the main point here. After all compiling everything, he felt dissatisfied, he felt emptiness, and he started to reflect. Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling incomplete? I had done a great job, but yes, there is dissatisfaction in my heart. And he started to reflect, and he identified his own problem, right? What did he say? This is maybe because I did not specifically point out about devotional service. This is called Bhagavad Dharma. This is called Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma means pure devotional service. So that is dear to the perfected beings and normal beings also. So he felt, imagine if Vyasdev was not satisfied. How can people be satisfied reading all the Vedas and this Mahabharata, etc.? Vyasdev himself was not satisfied. So he was thinking, maybe because I did not fully glorify the Lord, I did not give them Bhagavad Dharma. I've given them Bhagavad Dharma a little bit, but I gave them material enjoyment. In the name of religion, given permission to enjoy materially. So that could be the reason. And immediately, who comes? You can read the next 32.
I went before the they find Vyasa on the banks of the Saraswati, as Vyasadeva was resting his defense. At the auspicious arrival of Sri Narada, Sri Vyasadeva got up quickly and worshipped him, giving him veneration equal to that of the
That given to
that given to
Brahmaji.
Brahmaji, the creator.
So when he was thinking like this, immediately Narada appeared on the scene. And so when Narada arrived, Vyasdev gave the welcome ceremony, respected worship, offer worship. And then Narad will point out the root cause. Of course, he identified the root cause himself, right? But Narad also identifies the root cause and he gives the remedy for that root cause. And that's where the Vyasa gets the inspiration to write Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this chapter, in summary, so this is very much connected to the previous chapter. At the end of previous chapter, Sutta Goswami talked about Bhagavatam being non-different from Krishna, and it was compiled by Vyasdev, and he had taken the essence from all the scriptures and then essence from essence. And then he instructed it to his son Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami delivered it to Parikshit Maharaj. And while it is being delivered, I was there, I heard, I will narrate this, I will deliver this Bhagavatam to all of you sages. So Shaunaka Muni, in this chapter, he poses 3 sets of questions. First set relates to Bhagavatam and Vyasdev. Where did he get the inspiration? How did he compile? When did he compile? Like that. What made him to do this task? Because he had done so much other tasks. Why did he do like that? First set of questions about Bhagavatam and Vyasdev. Second set of questions about Shukadeva Goswami. What is the need for him actually to study this Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the need for him to go and meet Parikshit Maharaj and householders? He is already liberated. There is no need for him to do this task. He's already in the liberated stage. He only stops as long as the cow is milked. And you said that, he spent 7 days with Parikshit Maharaj with householders. How come that's possible? He doesn't wear any clothes. He appears like a madman. How was he recognized by the people of Hastinapur? And he was at an elevated stage that he could not distinguish male and female. When he looks at the body, he doesn't look at the body, he looks at the soul. And the next set of questions relates to Parikshit Maharaj. He was a great personality. His birth was glorious. He was protected by Krishna. And he was surrounded by all the opulences. He was very young, handsome. And his enemies were always subdued, controlled. And so how could he leave entire thing, reject entire, paraphernalia and go and hear Bhagavatam? We wanted to hear more about activities of Parikshit Maharaj. So these are the 3 sets of questions asked. And in the later section, later part of the chapter, Sutta Goswami focus on the first question, that is about Bhagavatam and Vyasdev. Vyasdev's birth was mentioned. He was born in this particular Dwapar Yuga, where it is overlaps the Treta Yuga. Yes, Treta Yuga, yeah, overlaps. So in that 28th cycle, he appeared, and he was a son of, he was born to Parashara Muni and Satyavati, and so he one day he realized, when he was offering oblations in river Saraswati, he could foresee the anomalies that are going to come, and the people are less intelligent, and they don't have proper habits, they are not very intelligent. So to benefit these people, he divided one Veda into four Vedas, and he handed over, taught to four individuals. Then Puranas were taught to Romarshana Sutta. So, and then he also compiled Mahabharat. It is in the form of stories. Purana also in the form of stories. And however, he had done this great task, he felt emptiness, some dissatisfaction in his heart. He tried to question himself. He understood. He reflected, and he understood, maybe I did not give Bhagavad Dharma to people, devotional service as priority to people. You remember first in the second chapter, the verse says, Yato bhakti savaipum sam paro dharmo yato bhakshir adokshajay ahaituki apratiyata yayatma suprasiddhati. I mean, the supreme occupation of every living being is to render devotion to Krishna. Then only they satisfy. So that's why, because I have not given that to people, that's why I am not satisfied. So maybe he's questioning, he's thinking, maybe this could be the root cause of my dissatisfaction. And while he was thinking like that, his guru, Narada Muni, suddenly appeared on the scene. There is a transcendental connection, heart to heart, Paramatma connection. So Paramatma immediately sent this Narada Muni there. And so when Narad came, Vyadev stood up and offered worship, and offered him elevated seat. And then there is a conversation between Narad and Vyadev. Narad will relate his own story, how he became Narad from becoming a maid servant, from being a maid servant. So that he will narrate, and he will inspire Vyadev to write Bhagavatam, which with main focus, with focuses on Bhagavad Dharma, devotion unto the Supreme. So that's why this is very topmost scripture, because you see, after compiling everything, he was not satisfied. So this was written in his maturity. In his maturity, this Bhagavatam was written. And we will continue to discuss. And I'm very, very grateful to all of you for being so enthusiastic, coming regularly. So please do come. Don't stop. Stopping is easy. Starting is easy. Stopping is even easier. But maintaining is the most difficult bit. Maintaining is difficult bit, seriously, because maintaining requires mode of goodness. Mode of goodness. Starting means mode of passion. Stopping means mode of ignorance. Seriously. Yes, so mode of goodness requires maintenance. So I can see that we started this session at Prabhu's place 13 years ago, and some devotees are still continue to come even after 13 years. So I'm very, very grateful. So on this special Women's Day, I congratulate all the women here. So Mata Shakti, Matru Shakti. And please, you are doing a wonderful job. You are coming here. That's why your children also come here. They pick up Bhagavatam. This is, wonderful, glorious mothers. You are also following in the footsteps of Mother Uttara. So I'm very, very grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandhi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah.